So in today's video, I'm going to share some tricks and tips for flying your drone in winter conditions. If you're like me and live in a place like Canada, you're in winter for probably a good 4 months of the year, or maybe even more. Now, you probably want to go out and fly your drone, but to do that, it is good to take some steps and be prepared in order to have the best experience possible. If you're like me, you may have picked up the DJI Mavic Mini and you really kind of want to go out there and fly it all over the place and test it, but the weather conditions aren't the best. So of course, knowing what the drone can sustain weather-wise is always good to know. And in the case of the DJI Mavic Mini, it can fly in temperatures up to about 0 degrees Celsius or 32 degrees Fahrenheit. And that's important to know because at the end of the day, you don't want to go out there and operate your equipment in sub-zero temperatures only to have it freeze up or become damaged so you can't enjoy it at any other time. So make sure that you understand that these drones have conditions where they are optimal. And once it starts hitting 0 degrees, that's kind of the limit. So knowing it's going to be cold outside and knowing that your drone is battery operated, that's my next tip. We're going to talk about these batteries. Before you go out, you want to make sure that they are fully charged. In fact, you probably want to have them freshly charged. You want to make sure that you are just pulling them out of the charger, packing them up, and going out to where you fly. Now, with batteries as well, you want to ensure that they are kept warm. There are optimal temperatures in which batteries work, and if they are cold, they will lose power that much faster. So something like this with the DJI Mavic Mini, which has a 30-minute flight time, will be greatly reduced depending on the temperature. And you have to remember that as you go higher and as you fly, it does get colder, and if it is windy, those wind chills play into that factor. So be prepared not to fly 30 minutes on a battery. Be prepared to fly 10 or 15, and be mindful of that when you're planning your flight. Ensure that you have plenty of time to get back, that you are not throwing a drone up with less than 50% battery, because if it runs out of juice, you could find yourself with a lost drone or maybe worse. So what I like to do with batteries personally is I like to wear them on my body. I will wear them inside my jacket, keep them close. I do that with camera batteries as well when I'm out filming in the winter. That ensures that my body heat keeps this battery nice and warm for when you put it in the drone. Again, as well, you want to make sure that the drone is kept as warm as possible. So if you're driving out to a site, keep it in the vehicle until you're ready to pull it out and set off. If not, keep it in a backpack as well. You can get some little hand warmers and keep everything nice and toasty and a little bit warm, so when it gets out in the cold, that it is not a big deal. So for my next tip, it involves these little Silica Packs. You may have seen them when you have bought electronics or something else. You have found them and you've probably just thrown them out. They are actually a really good idea to keep. And why that is because when you finish flying your drone, what you can do is when you pack up your drone and you put it in the case, you can throw one of these inside, and what this will do is absorb any excess moisture. So when you go from extremely cold temperatures to a nice warm vehicle or your warm house, you may get some condensation on the drone. This will help absorb it so it doesn't damage your electronics. So my next tip is for taking off and landing. If you're going to be taking off or landing, you don't want to do it directly in the snow. Why? Because if your drone gets snow on it, and as it warms up and it melts, you could cause yourself potentially some problems. So what you want to do is one of two things. You either want to take off from your hand and land in your hand, or if you're not confident doing that, and I highly recommend getting one of these, is just a little Heliport Mat. You can buy them off Amazon. In fact, I will throw a link down below to those, and just place that on top of the snow. It provides a great spot for it to land. It ensures that your drone doesn't get wet so you won't damage your electronics, and it's just easy to fold up and pack away and carry with you. So hopefully you have found these tips useful for taking your drone out and flying in winter conditions. Hopefully you are gaining some fantastic footage. Please do share whatever you happen to capture with me. Remember, like, comment, subscribe, share this video, and until next time, see ya.